Lewis Hamilton thinks it's kind of nuts that he was the only driver to receive a penalty for cutting a corner during the Mexico City Grand Prix, a decision that left him frustrated and silent in the aftermath. The seven-time world champion was handed a 10-second time penalty for leaving the track and gaining a lasting advantage following a spirited early race duel with Max Verstappen. The two went side by side through turns 1 and 2, with Verstappen running wide through turn 3 to keep third place. On the following straight, Hamilton attempted to sweep around the outside into turn 4, but a lock-up forced him off the track and ahead of the Red Bull driver, a move the stewards later deemed illegal. "It felt like racing," said Hamilton. "I was fine there. It was just the cutting. Then I'm the only one to get a 10-second penalty. It was kind of nuts." When the checkered flag fell, Hamilton didn't say a word. His engineer, Riccardo Adami, tried to reach him over the radio, but there was only silence. According to onboard footage shared by @FireGirlie on X, Hamilton sat motionless in his Ferrari after parking in the pit lane. While other drivers climbed out to reattach their steering wheels, Hamilton remained seated, helmet on, visibly dejected. The result was a clear disappointment. Without the 10-second penalty, Hamilton might have been fighting for the podium, or even higher. When told about the sanction over the radio, he simply replied, "These guys are unbelievable, man. That's so stout, man. What about all the other cars that have cheated?" After the race, Hamilton, still subdued, admitted there was little to celebrate. "It was fun at the start," he said. "It didn't end up the way I hoped. But, that's motor racing. It was very, very dirty offline. I did the best I could to bring the car back to the track safely, and that's all you could hope for. I got some points at least. I don't understand it. The penalty. I literally just got changed. It doesn't really matter. I know what happened, and I know how the race was. I don't care, I move forwards." He ultimately finished 8th after facing 2 separate investigations for cutting turn 4. The first, for not following the race director's instructions to rejoin via the designated runoff, was dismissed. But the second, for gaining an advantage over Verstappen, resulted in the decisive penalty. According to the steward's notes, Hamilton should have relinquished the position back to car 1, a reference to Verstappen, after rejoining the circuit. This is what they said. Car 44 locked brakes, left the track at turn 4, and used the grass area while rejoining in the direction of turn 5. As the driver was unable to follow the route prescribed by the race director along the yellow line due to an excess of speed, no breach of the race director's notes is deemed to have occurred. However, by leaving the track and cutting the corner, the driver gained a lasting advantage, overtaking car 1 and failing to give back the position thereafter. The standard penalty for leaving the track and gaining a lasting advantage is therefore imposed. Earlier in the same sequence, Verstappen and Hamilton made light contact through turn 1 as the Dutchman lunged down the inside. The stewards labelled that moment a racing incident. However, while Verstappen also ran wide at turn 3, it was Hamilton's actions that drew scrutiny. The stewards even investigated whether the Ferrari driver had left enough room. Their conclusion stated, "Car 1 overtook car 44 on the inside of turn 1. At the apex, Verstappen's front axle was clearly in front of Hamilton's mirror, and therefore Verstappen was entitled to the racing line. Hamilton remained alongside through the corner, resulting in slight contact between the wheels of both cars. The contact had no consequences for either car." Considering that Hamilton had limited opportunity to leave additional space on track, that both cars were side by side throughout the corner, and no sporting consequence resulted from the contact, and noting that in similar incidents in the past, no further action was taken, the stewards determined that the matter falls within a racing incident. Meanwhile, George Russell was left equally puzzled. The Mercedes driver said he does not understand how Verstappen avoided any penalty despite cutting 2 corners during the race. Verstappen, who started 5th, made a blistering getaway and went 4 wide into turn 1 alongside Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc, and Hamilton. But after locking up and skipping across the corner, he dropped back behind Hamilton to fourth, a sequence Russell believes was handled inconsistently. He told Sky Sports, "I don't understand how three drivers can cut the first corner and just continue in the position they entered. It's like allowing you to risk everything, and you just have a get-out-of-jail-free card if you get it wrong." Obviously, when Max and Lewis came together, Lewis got a penalty, and rightly so, but Max was off the track and came back on. It was the wrong place and the wrong time for me, and I lost 3 positions. Obviously, I was pretty frustrated, but it all stemmed from lap 1. Ultimately, it's down to the circuit, and there is this get-out-of-jail-free card. If there was gravel, then nobody would be there. We've seen it almost every year we've been here. It was Carlos last year and Charles the year before, or Lewis 10 years ago. It's like a lawnmower race. Something needs to change there. That's not really how it should be. Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur has branded Lewis Hamilton's 10-second penalty at the Mexico City Grand Prix as very, very harsh and not very well managed. The Frenchman believes the decision robbed Hamilton of a potential fourth-place finish, and possibly more. This cost us P4. One thing is the penalty, for sure, that we didn't follow the race director's notes. But 10 seconds, I don't remember when someone took 10 seconds. If you have the global picture, saying that Max cut the corner before, he cut the chicane in the grass, 100 meters. I think it's not very well managed, honestly. Because you are in Mexico. On top of this, I don't say that you have to adapt the penalty to the track, but you have to understand what you are doing. He took the 10 seconds. This dropped us at the queue of the group and we can't overtake. It's after the pit stop that you have no issue to recover. This cost us probably P4, even with the 5 seconds. But with 10 seconds, speaking to Sky Sports Germany after the race, Vasseur elaborated on his frustration with the steward's ruling, adding that, "I think overall it was a good weekend. We had a very strong pace yesterday in quali with P2 and P3, and today I think that Lando was a step ahead at least, and it was difficult to imagine to do better than P2. The downside, or the negative side, is probably the penalty. I found the penalty a bit harsh. 10 seconds is very, very harsh because this dropped us behind all the group, and in Mexico it's so difficult to overtake that this cost us." So, did the FIA get the Hamilton-Verstappen decision right? What would you have done differently? Let your thoughts be heard in the comments below. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to stay ahead in the world of Formula One. Thanks for watching.